if the windows are shut, there is no ventilation. And so through winter or through a hot summer, the temptation is to close the windows, which means that ventilation deteriorates. And yet, to get anything like the amount of ventilation that's desirable to reduce the spread of COVID, as an example, you would need the windows fully open all of the time. Newer deep plan schools, the sort of contemporary open plan school, the middle of the learning space is often a long way away from windows, and in those cases the ventilation level in the middle of the school can be extremely poor, and even opening the windows at the periphery won't do enough to fix that.
I can just sort of move this around and
you
follow
can.
things.
You can.
A huge peak. At the moment these are all looking.
Carry on.
The one thing that surprised me when I looked into this issue was that we don't have any indoor measures of air pollution. In fact, it might surprise you to know that there are no standards or regulation about the quality of indoor air. So the first step we needed to do to be able to help to find ways to reduce our exposure to indoor air pollution is to measure it. And that's the reason I developed Clean Air Schools.
Well, he's in school.
He's actually probably busted the software up. I mean, the connections on this one. The low-cost sensors will sample the air for PM 2.5 and NO2. So those are the pollutants that come from bushfires, from traffic and from industrial emissions. And what we'll be able to do once we've collected that data is to be able to look at the distribution over time and space of these different pollutants. And the reason that's important is because we need to understand the actual exposure levels inside buildings where people spend 3/4 of their time, and kids included, and also outdoors, so we can start to identify where the air is cleaner and the kind of actions that we can take to ensure we have clean air that's safe to breathe.
So originally the connection happened as a result of the bushfire crisis here in Sydney and New South Wales, where as a school we were particularly really challenged to provide good quality air for our students and to really understand how we could manage that terrible situation. So we've been working with them ever since then, and at the time, little did we realise that COVID was about to rear its ugly head, and certainly as time progressed through the lockdown, we realised that we were already in a partnership that was going to be really beneficial for students, staff, visitor safety, being able to really provide them with the best workplace possible.
It feels really safe, with COVID and everything, just illnesses, just to be able to know that our air quality is safe and good.
I think it's a good idea because it can help us record if we need to change anything or add anything to help make the air suitable for the students.
So that's where
What
we need to identify is when, for example, it's a good time to open a window. If you're near a highly trafficked road, you don't want open windows facing a commute traffic road in the morning. But once that commute traffic lifts, you may want to purge the air out of the room, open windows, open doors, get cross ventilation, or use mechanical fans in order to clear out the air pollution inside that room. Obviously, it would be great if we could put air cleaning technology in every room, but at the moment that is an expensive solution to do everywhere, so we need to identify the areas that need the most help quickly. So I guess what we have to do is look at this and just look where the monitors get the air from. We're trying to get a representative sample so we can develop some policy recommendations that would be more broadly applicable throughout schools. When are you back to India? This monitor will be sampling the air for 15 minutes in this classroom, and what we're trying to identify is whether or not we can make some really simple interventions in this space for the kids, so that when, for example, we have traffic outside that window, we might need to close the window in the morning commute just to keep the air quality in here better.
Put it back on the windows.
Sure. I actually don't remember, were your things pointing in or out?
That's it, that's good.
Comes down to safety. Comes down to children being able to learn and be in a great place. Yeah, healthy, happy, safe.
Outdoor monitor. It's getting a lot of sun, which is great. And this one has been here, how long has it been here now? All the Victorians were getting to the monitor. Yeah. To the solar panel. Yeah.
During bushfire season,
What we're trying to do is look at that gradient of indoor and outdoor air pollution. So what we'll be able to do is get the readings from this one, get the readings from the one inside, and actually see the difference between those two readings for PM 2.5 and NO2. And that will help us understand whether or not the building is being protective for the kids' health and reducing their exposure to air pollution, or potentially capturing air pollution and making the indoor conditions less healthy.
when it's really bad air, 1 minute the breeze comes. Yeah, okay.
So because you're in a sense unusual.
And what I think we need to do is to make sure that there's a minimum standard of air ventilation within every school. So we're talking indoor air quality. The quality of indoor air in a school should be something that we can guarantee to students and to their parents, of course.
Tabby gets it.